Yes, I'm Chiitra Tibbs. I've been in Toast. I've started to. Ooh, it is typing. My phone was typing it to you. That's interesting. Anyway, I'm Chiitra Tibbs. I started Toastmasters right when I started my new career in 2008. In 2008, I started Toastmasters. I was a corporate club, a closed corporate club. Moved from that job, and then I got back into Toastmasters in 2019. Gave my first speech in 2020. Then we went to hybrid. I'm a member of Bridgestone's Babblers. I served as Sergeant at Arms, VP of Education, and now I am the president. I am also the area director for Area 51 in Division E, District 63. I am also the spring conference chair, which we'll be having in April. Toastmasters has really helped me slow down my speech some. Today, that's one of the things I'm going to try to focus on, is slowing down my speech so that you all can gain something out of it. And so, and I have a hat because now I'm dealing with skin conditions. And anytime I go outside, I'm supposed to have on a wide brim hat. So my hat should be colorful from now on. I'm ready. Let's get started. Good afternoon, Middle Tennessee State University Speechcraft crowd. Today, I come to you giving an educational session. This educational session or speech will be talking about speech organization. We're going to go through a basic structure of a speech. I'm going to give you a little examples, and then I'm probably all the way through it. I may ask for some input from you all. So please listen up. Hopefully you gain something out of it. And if we had a grammarian or aha counter, I've just said so a couple times, which is really not good. That's not something you want to do in the speech. And speech organization is something that can kind of help you from doing those things. Now, to be a successful communicator, when you were communicating about topics, especially prepared topics, and even not even prepared topics, the idea of thinking and speech structure can help you with your communication overall. You want to communicate in a logical fashion. If you're telling a story, you want to start with the beginning. You might want to give a little bit about how the story started, the in-between, and you're going to get to the end. And that's the same thing with speeches. Speeches, you want to bring people in, you want to keep their attention, and then you also want to give them nuggets so they can go back and remember. I attend church, and the people that I remember, even sometimes can remember the text, are the people whose speeches are very well organized, or I should say sermons are very well organized, and they give me a couple of points. And so let's come and doing that. The other thing about organizing your speech is you want to make sure you connect ideas. And so let's step back one moment, and I'm going to tell you about how Chiitra picks speeches. Chiitra picks speeches based on things that she knows, things that she's interested in, and that makes it a whole lot easier to go and give a speech. Now, yes, I go and do research. I've given speeches on walking because I walk. I went and did research on that, and I brought in those ideas. Now, once you gather your ideas and you know exactly what you want to say, I would go ahead and start working on my body. Why your body? And let me start back, because I should have told you one thing before I told the body. Speeches are, a simple speech structure would be your opening, your body, and your conclusion. Now, we picked the speech topic, we picked some facts around it, and we want to do a body. And so for this speech, we're going to talk about hats, right? So that's the main thing about hats. And one of the things I want to do, and ideas I'll write about hats are, why do I like hats? One, they're very fashionable, right? It adds flair to any outfit. The next thing is it protects, right? So the sun doesn't glare in my eyes and things of that nature. Two, it kind of keeps you, it kind of protects you. That I already said protect you, but it kind of like allows you to represent something as well, right? When you wearing hats allows you to represent things, right? So we kind of came up, when I'm thinking about a speech, I came up with those things, and those can kind of help me decide what my body's going to look like. Usually for a body, I would think about 3 points. These are the points that I want people to really remember, right? One of the points is, for me, is hats can protect your skin from extra UV lights, right? That's the one thing. The next thing, hats can be very, very beautiful and adds to your actual outfit, right? And the next thing is hats can allow people to know something about you, your affiliations. They can let you know about your clubs. So those are the 3 points that I would guide my speech on. And I would add more facts along the way with those. And then when I'm writing my speech and structuring my speech, I would look at those facts and those 3 points. And then I would come up with the opening. What about the opening? The opening has to get someone's attention. And so for this hat speech, my opening would go something like, hats, all shapes, all colors, hats, I love hats. Come, let me tell you more about hats today. And I may give a little story. I started wearing hats when I played t-ball. And from that, I love fitted hats. And I started wearing fitted hats for all my favorite teams. And then as I progressed and got older, I started wearing more hats like different shaped hats, kufis, all these type of things and different things to express myself. And not only do hats allow me to express myself, but hats allow me to protect myself. And so today I want to talk more about hats. And then I will go into the speech and start talking about those 3 points. And then the conclusion of your speech, you would go back and iterate those 3 points, bringing it together and closing it out. Those are things that you want to talk about. That's how you want to structure your speech. Your speech should be very simple. And if you structure your speech this way and you write it that way, it'll make it a whole lot easier for you to remember. So organizing a speech is very important because you want to make sure you have a clear idea that your audience is going to leave with something. Your speech should have a opening. And what does the opening do? The opening brings people in. It grabs your audience attention. The next thing, you're going to have a body. And in that body, you can do anything you want with the body. You want to be able to present these ideas and bring everything together and have things be logically. The way we can do that is actually creating 3 points, the points that we want people to remember. And then at the end of the conclusion, you bring those things together. I hope I've given you something that'll allow you to understand how to structure your speeches. I hope when you use your speeches, you remember about the opening, the body, and the conclusion. And also the one last thing about speeches, again, like I said before, it's easier when we speak on things that we're passionate about. It's easier when you speak on your experiences. It's easier when you speak about series that you're watching. If it's TV, there's speeches all around you. So keep your eyes open. There's so much that you can share with people. And if you structure it this way and practice it, people are going to remember something you said and you're going to be significant. And if you all know of a website where I can buy hats, let me know. I'm very interested in buying hats. Thank you, Middle Tennessee Speechcraft. Bert, I hope I did an okay job.